Hey y'all, hey. Today we are reading If I Ran the Circus.
My mother liked the circus.
You don't?
No, I just like the cat in the hat.
In all the whole town, the most wonderful spot is behind Sneelock's store in the big vacant lot. It's just the right spot for my wonderful plans, said young Morris McGurk. If I clean up the cans. Shh. You can play when I get out. Now, a fellow like me, said young Morris McGurk, could get rid of this junk with a half hour's work. I could yank up those weeds and chop down the dead tree and haul off those old cars. There are just 2 or 3, and then the whole place will be ready, you see. All ready to put up the tents for my circus. I think I will call it the Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus, the world's greatest show on the face of the earth or wherever you go. The Circus McGurkus, the cream of the cream. The Circus McGurkus, the circus supreme. The Circus McGurkus, colossal, stupendous, astounding, fantastic, terrific, tremendous. I'll bring in my acrobats, jugglers, and clowns from 1,033 faraway towns to the place that you'll see them in, ladies and gents, right behind Sneelock's store in the great McGurk tents. And I don't suppose old Mr. Sneelock will mind when he suddenly has a big circus behind. Shh.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. I'm just asking you to come in here all day and play. All day. After all, Mr. Sneelock is one of my friends. He might even help out doing small odds and ends. Doing little odd jobs. He could be of some aid, such as selling balloons and a pink lemonade. I think 500 gallons will be about right. And then I'll be ready for opening night. What an opening night. What a night. What a sight. I'll hoist up the curtains. The crowds will crowd in, and my Circus McGurkus will promptly begin. With a welcoming toot on my welcoming horn by my horn-tooting apes from the jungles of Jorn, where the very best horn-tooting apes are all born, because the very fresh air there is fine for their lungs. And some of those fellows have 2 or 3 tongues.
Upside down. Now you got the camera.
Can you please get out the camera?
Bruh, I'm still naked.
Yep.
Oh.
This way. Step right in. This way, ladies and gents. My sideshow starts here in the first of my tents. When you see what goes on, you'll say no other circus is half the great circus the Circus McGurkus is. Here on stage 1, from the ocean of off, is a sight most amazing. A walrus named Rolf, who can stand on 1 whisker, this wonderful Rolf, on the top of 5 balls, 2 for tennis, 3 golf. It's a marvelous trick, if I say so myself.
Hold on.
And on stage number 2, here is something quite new. From a country called From comes this drum tummy Snum, who can drum any tune that you might care to hum. Doesn't hurt him a bit, cause his drum tummy's numb. And you'll now meet the Foon, the remarkable Foon, who eats sizzling hot pebbles that fall off the moon. And the reason he likes them red hot, it appears, is he greatly enjoys blowing smoke from his ears. Of course, pebbles like this are quite hard to collect, but Sneelock will manage. Somehow, I expect. After all, Mr. Sneelock is one of my friends, and I'm sure he'll help out doing small odds and ends. And on stage number 4, see the Willy Waloo, who can throw his long tail as a sort of lasso. With a flip of the hip with a tail of this kind, he can capture whoever is standing behind. He can capture old Sneelock. I'm sure he won't mind. And now, here is a hoodwink who winks in his wink hood. Without a good wink hood, a hoodwink can't wink good. And folks, let me tell you, there's only one circus with wink hooded hoodwinks, the Circus McGurkus. The show of all shows. There's no other showman who shows you a show with a blindfolded bowman. The blindfolded bowman from Brigger Baruch, the world's sharpest sharpshooter. Look at him shoot. Through the holes in 4 donuts, 2 hairs on a worm, and the knees of 3 birds without making them squirm. And then on through a crab apple, up on the head, a Sneelock who likes to help out, as I've said. And now, come to this spot where the spotlight is hot, and you'll see in the spotlight a juggling jot who can juggle some stuff you might think he could not, such as 22 question marks, which is a lot, and also 44 commas, and also 1 dot. That's the kind of a Circus McGurkus I've got.
Mama, why are you doing that?
That's his show that he put on, his act for the circus.
It's not the show.
What is it then?
It's dumb.
But that's just my side show. A start, a beginning. This way to the big tent, you'll find your head spinning. Why, ladies and gentlemen, youngsters and oldsters, your heads will quite likely spin right off your shoulders. So hurry, step lively, quick, ladies and gents, and get into your seats in my tent of all tents. My parade of parades is about to commence. Shh.
Mama, I can't reach with my arm.
You'll see Drum Major Sneelock fling flang his baton, and my organ McGurkus come on with his hot steaming pipes of gold brass plated tin, snorting all sorts of snorts in a bumbling den. This is super stupendous, stupendous, stororis. And when I play Dixie, please join in the chorus. Then a fluff muffled truffle will ride on a huffle, and next in the line a fine flummox with shuffle. The flummox will carry a lurch in a pail, and a fibble will carry the flummox's tail. While on top of the flummox, 3 harp twanging snarp will twang mighty twangs on their 3 snarper harp. While a bolster blows bloops on a 3-nozzle blueser, a noster blows floops on a 1-nozzle noozer. And then comes a lion who's partly a trout. Then more stuff for 45 minutes about. Shh. And then behind them, while everyone stares, come my to and fro marchers who march in 5 layers. The fro's march on toes and the twos march on fro's. The fro's march on... No, that is toes. It just doesn't have to eat. Let me give y'all this page again. And then behind them, then while everyone stares, come my to and fro marchers who march in 5 layers. The froze march on toes and the toes march on froze. Don't know how they do it, but that's just how it goes. And now comes an act of enormous. No performers perform this performance. This stun is too griping, slippingly frightening. Down from the top of my tent like greased lightning. Through pots full of lots of big sticklebush trees slides a man. What a man on his roller skate skis. And he'll steer without fear, and you'll know at a glance that it's Sneelock, the man who takes chance after chance, and he won't even rip a small hole in his pants. And now here in this cage is a beast most ferocious, who's known far and wide as the spotted atrocious, who growls, howls, and yowls the most blood-curdling sounds, and each tooth in his mouth weighs at least 60 pounds. And he chews up and eats with the greatest of ease things like carpets and sidewalks and people and trees. But the great Colonel Sneelock is just the right kind of a man who can tame him. I'm sure he won't mind. Then I'll let Sneelock off for a few minutes, rest, while high over your heads you will see the best of the world's finest, fanciest, breezy, trapeze, my Zoom troop from West Upper Bendizing, who never quite know while they zoop and they zoom, whether which will catch what one, or who will catch whom. Or if who will catch which by the what and just where, or just when and just how, in which part of the air. Shh. Because like the louder I read, the louder you play. I'm almost finished reading for today.
Okay, the nighttime in the morning.
Hey, what a circus. My circus McGurkus, my workers love work. They say, work us, please, work us. We'll work and we'll work up so many surprises you never see half if you had 40 eyes.
Excuse me? The night don't come and the morning come and I yank this paper. You can't do something no more.
That's how you feel?
Yes. It's my paper now.
And now, again, Sneelock. Brave Sneelock is back, risking life on my patented life-risking track, while the speedsters I call my colliding collusions race round in swift cars called abrasion contusions. And Sneelock just lies there, not one bit excited. I know he won't mind. He'll be simply delighted. And here, in a contest of brute strength and muscle, Kid Sneelock, my champ of all champs, will now tussle and wrestle a beast called the Grizzly Ghastly and slap him around. Then he'll slam him down fastly and pin both his shoulders tight flat to the mat. Kid Sneelock would love it. I'm sure about that. And while that goes on there, look at this. Go on here. Have you heard of my herd of through horns jumping deer? Every deer jumps through horns of another pale male, while his horns are jumped through at the same time as well. By a deer whose horns also are being jumped through, by another who's having his horns jumped through too, which I'm sure trainer Sneelock can train them to do. Then the whole tent will ring with hoorays and wild shouts when I wheel in my wheels and they turn on their spouts. First, my wheel number 1 with an aim that aims true spouts a spout that spouts knee lock to wheel number 2. And then wheel number 2 spouts his spout like a gun, and that spout spouts old knee lock right back to wheel 1. Then forwards and backwards and spout after spout, my great spout rider Sneelock gets spouted about, just as long as the water they're spouting holds out. Then my tournament nights, noble apes without fear, Sir Hector, Sir Vector, Sir Bops, and Sir Beard, Sir Hawk and Sir Dawkins, Sir Jocks and Sir Jeers, clatter into the tent, and while everyone cheers, stage a roast about joust with their boxing glove spears. Those roust about. And while all this wild ruckusing goes on below, at the top of the tent, look, the star of my show. Great daredevil Sneelock, the world's bravest type, he comes pulled through the air by 3 Subrian snipe on the dingus contraption attached to his pipe. And while people below are all turning chalk white and all biting their fingernails off in their fright, great Sneelock soars up to a terrible height. Then he shakes himself loose. He starts down in a dive such as no man on earth could come out of alive. But he smiles as he falls, and no fear does he feel. His nerves are like iron, his muscles like steel. And he plunges down, down, with his hair still combed neat, 4,692 feet. Then he'll land in a fishbowl. He'll manage just fine. Don't ask how he'll manage. That's his job, not mine. Why, he'll be a hero. Of course he won't mind when he finds out that he has a big circus behind. The end. If I ran the circus.